What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and I want to have a conversation about Blackbolt because word has reached my ears that apparently people on social media, just general moviegoers, are all kind of warming up to the idea of the Inhumans, and they're like, hey, we'd like to see a little more of the Inhumans. Surely there's got to be more to the character of Blackbolt than what we saw in Multiverse of Madness. Nope. Wrong. Blackbolt sucks. That guy's always sucked. And he sucks the most out of all the Inhumans. Medusa's kind of cool sometimes, I guess, but like with all the Inhumans, they suck, man. They're not interesting at all. So here's the thing about Blackbolt, right? And I'm just going in, right? I'm just going in. What you saw in that movie, that is a perfect representation of Blackbolt in the comics. An idiot, right? Like his mouth gets taken away and like his quasi-sonic scream is his power. So he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna yell. And what's the worst that could happen? Well, I don't know, Blackbolt, you big dummy. Like your head explodes. Like that's normal, man. Like that's not an exception. What you saw in Multiverse of Madness is not an exception to the rule. It's not like they changed his character up and made him less interesting for the film. No, that's business as usual, man. Literally, the power of Blackbolt, it's not a quasi-sonic scream. It's getting them cheeks clapped. That's the #1 power of Blackbolt of the Inhumans. This guy's only ever been cool twice. And I'll talk about those here in a minute, because I guess I have to talk about them. All right, here's perfect examples of Blackbolt absolutely just getting clapped. And I don't even mean like he puts up a fight. No, I mean like he gets wrecked because he sucks. So the first one is in World War Hulk. And I know a lot of you guys are probably talking about this now. I get what a lot of you guys are saying. Well, it's World War Hulk, Rob. It's the Incredible Hulk at his strongest. So I don't care. Like, here's the thing, man. Like, Blackbolt never stood a chance. Those guys who don't know this story, right? The Illuminati had this genius idea, right? In their infinite wisdom, when Black Panther told them, do not do this, it's a terrible idea, you're gonna piss off the Hulk. It was crazy, right? So like literally their idea is to send the Incredible Hulk to like a world where he could live in peace. He ends up flying into a gravity well and ends up on this war-torn planet where he basically helps to overthrow the king, and then he gets like a kind of peaceful life banging this chick named Kyra. He gets her knocked up. And then like the ship explodes and it kills everybody but him. Let me tell you something, man. This dude was incensed. Like this guy goes flying back to Earth with his warband. So I guess they're the only ones who survive. But like Korg and those guys, he goes flying back to Earth, as pissed off as he's ever been in his life. And he like the first place he stops is the moon because the Inhumans suck so bad nobody wanted him on Earth. And the Incredible Hulk shows up and like Blackbolt's like, I'll handle this. So he comes out there and like there's some kind of an exchange of words, and the Incredible Hulk's like, dude, I don't want to hear you talk, man. I want to hear you scream, and just like wow, just like tears into this guy. He didn't have, dude, it's after that, man, it's an absolute bloodbath, right? World War Hulk had some of the most insane moments ever in the Incredible Hulk's history. It was absolutely nuts. He goes showing up at the Xavier Institute after like the whole House of M event, so like 98% of the mutant population is gone, and the X-Men are like, well, I guess we need to step up and try to fight the Incredible Hulk, who's the strongest he's ever been, and on a pretty rough day when they run out of his favorite snacks, he's hard to deal with. Now we gotta deal with this Incredible Hulk when the Illuminati literally killed his family. So like, let's see how this goes. And it doesn't go well. Let me tell you something, man. They were not prepared. The Incredible Hulk comes running in, right? Like literally shows up on the doorstep of this place and is like, bring me Xavier or you're all gonna die. And so like literally they come out, right? And like Colossus steps up. Let me tell you something, man. Colossus he's got the osmium skin, right? His osmium metal form. Dude, Worldbreaker Hulk snaps his arms in half and it's just like, next. And like Juggernaut comes running up, and because of plot, like literally he just like diverts the direction of the Juggernaut into like a different direction because he can't like stop Kane Marco dead in his tracks for reasons that will never make sense, because he was able to do it way back in the Peter David days when he was a Horseman of Apocalypse. I don't know why he couldn't do it then, but nonetheless, it's just one of those, it's that going off on a tirade a little bit, that's an example of Blackbolt getting those cheeks clapped. But the single greatest moment of Blackbolt just absolutely getting smacked around, single greatest moment, Jonathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers 1, son, Infinity, son, man. Look, here's the thing, man. It was hilarious. It was the funniest thing ever. So here's what happens, right? So the first time you meet like Corvus Glaive, Proxima Midnight, like Super Giant or Black Dwarf or whatever it is, all those different guys. The first time you meet them, they're traveling around from world to world, and like Corvus Glaive just like he shows up on Earth to like meet the Inhumans, and he immediately starts talking shit to Blackbolt, right? He was like, I came here looking for a great king. Can anybody tell me where I can find one? Because all I see is a small king, a tiny little king, a king of an insignificant kingdom. And I'm like, you're damn right, Corvus Glaive. No one cares about the Inhumans. The Inhumans don't even care about the Inhumans. Literally, when the Terrigen bomb went off, no one wanted to join the Inhuman royal family. But nonetheless, that's we'll talk about that here in a second. So the whole thing about this is that like basically Thanos is looking for his son. And so he sends like Corvus Glaive and all those people to basically bring the heads of all the firstborn sons, right? Like all the sons in a certain age range, basically guaranteeing like any son that he had would basically be dead, killed off by their own race. So basically like the Inhumans, of course, Medusa speaks for Blackbolt. The Inhumans are just like, no, like go tell your master or whatever it is, we're not dealing with this or any of that kind of stuff. So then here he comes, right? Thanos comes walking in. Now, as soon as he comes walking in there, it's just Blackbolt waiting on him, right? Like he's gonna do anything. So literally it's just Blackbolt waiting on him, and like a fight breaks out between the two of them. And I use the term fight loosely because it's basically just Blackbolt getting smacked around and like Thanos asking him questions. That's literally what it is. It's basically a police interrogation from New York City, right? Just getting beat up and asked questions. So there comes a point when Blackbolt screams in the face of Thanos, right? And we're not talking about Blackbolt just like talking, right? Like what you saw in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness where he kind of lets off his power a little bit. No, I mean like he lets the full force of his power out. And in one of the greatest moments ever in the history of comics, Thanos is just like, enough! And he like grabs his mouth and like just shuts Blackbolt up, and he was like, keep your secrets, carry them with you to the grave, and like smashes his head down into the ground. And it's just like, yeah, man, because Blackbolt sucks. He got absolutely crushed. So those of you guys out there who are watching Doctor Strange 2 and who are like, Blackbolt of the Inhumans seems kind of cool, I'd be interested in seeing more of him. Sure, there's got to be more than what I saw in this movie when he literally got clapped like 5 minutes after appearing. No, that's Blackbolt. Like literally the guy is a punching bag. Like that's Blackbolt. That's him in the comics. You ever want to see like a direct character adaptation from the comics? You saw it when he died, not even 10 seconds into a fight with the Scarlet Witch. Like that's normal, man. That's regular. That's him. Reed would have survived a little bit longer because he was kind of an idiot in terms of how he like directly confronted a woman who's literally reached Karen level 99 and is storming the multiverse because the manager of the Mystic Arts wouldn't answer her question. Like that's Reed would have been like, okay, so like we should probably go somewhere else that's not here and like regroup. Maybe grab like the X-Men who obviously exist in this world because Xavier's there. And then like see if we can beat her, right? Like Reed wouldn't just run in and die. But nonetheless, right, that's normally Blackbolt. Now, there have been like 2 times in his entire publication history when Blackbolt was relevant in any way. And the first one was during House of M when he basically fought Apocalypse, and not really. Apocalypse is like this guy with celestial technology. So like, I mean, he's a hoss, right? Like just to give you guys perspective, during the old Peter David run, there was a point where Apocalypse literally captured the Incredible Hulk, and the Incredible Hulk could not escape his grasp. He's literally like holding him in place, right? With like his tentacle things coming out of his arm. He's like holding him by the mouth and like holding him in place. It's beast. Right, and then like he turns him into a horseman. So like Apocalypse was able to overpower the Incredible Hulk. And that's just physical strength. You're talking about a guy that can make himself like 2,000 feet tall, that can give himself any superhuman power with the exception of reality warping and time travel. The guy can do virtually anything, right? He's like a one-man army. When that guy shows up ready to cause some problems, things are gonna pop off, right? Like everybody's gonna have a bad day. And so in the House of M storyline, there's a point where like Apocalypse goes to confront somebody, I can't remember who it is, but Blackbolt's there and he just like whispers and just annihilates Apocalypse and like this huge section of the area. And like that's it, right? And then the other part was during the War of Kings when he was basically fighting Vulcan, who was an Omega level mutant, the brother of Cyclops that nobody knew about. There's a really cool moment in the X-Men comics when Cyclops fires his optic blast at Vulcan and Vulcan sticks his hand up and like the optic blast goes around Vulcan and back to Cyclops. It's so cool, like he's able to control energy and stuff like that. But like the two of them get into a fight and they literally rip a hole in space that turns out leads to the Cancerverse. So like those are like the 2 times when Blackbolt was relevant. But no, in terms of of like, is Black Bolt interesting? No, he's never been interesting, and he never will be interesting. Black Bolt sucks. He's always sucked, right? He's like the anchovies of the superhero community. They exist, but nobody wants them. So with that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this to an end. A little perspective on the character of Black Bolt and the Inhumans. Do not believe by any standard of measurement that the Inhumans will be as interesting as the X-Men. I promise you they will not. There's nothing the MCU can do to make the Inhumans interesting. It's never going to happen. So with that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this to an end. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all later. Peace.